Hey everyone.
Hi everyone.
Welcome back to part 3.
It's been a while.
It has been a very long while.
Especially, I think actually for a sit down video, it's probably been over a year, 2 years maybe?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Especially like a Disney related one.
Yeah, definitely, that's so true. But we can do a Disney one because we've just come back from Walt Disney World.
Yeah, indeed. 2 lovely weeks in Florida, which was amazing.
It was so good, and it's literally been like 4.5 years since we were last there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was lovely to go. But the main difference was Genie Plus,
Yeah.
and we did actually pick up a few tips and kind of think of the cons and pros to it. So we thought, why not do a video, because it may help people which are going soon.
Why not just share some knowledge? Because yeah, we didn't know anything about it really before
No.
we went. We were kind of hell-bent on not using it, and then
Yeah,
we used it, and then yeah.
so we used it like 4 times in a 2-week trip.
Yeah.
So we just thought this is kind of our opinion on the pros, on the cons, and yeah, I'm going to share them now with you.
Yeah, so let's start with the pros, shall we?
Yeah, let's go for the pros. Let's start it all positive.
Start with the positives.
I'm just going to be looking down my phone because we did make some notes. So, right, so the pros, I think the first one is the crowds were crazy busy.
They were absolutely mental
For
for January.
January, because everyone told us January is a quiet time, but it wasn't. It was absolutely crazy, and it's probably to do with obviously all the cancelled trips and everyone kind of coming back to Orlando. So for us, Genie Plus did really help us out with those
Yeah.
big crowds.
It did. Yeah, it was, yeah.
We definitely got on things way quicker.
Yeah.
For example, Magic Kingdom, we managed to do 7 rides using Genie Plus in the day. So
On a full day, yeah.
yeah, so I kind of feel like, you know, without Genie Plus, we wouldn't have got on half the attractions in Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
We'll come on to the other 2 parks later on. There's like no walk-ons anymore, so that kind of ties in.
Well, it wasn't when we went there anyway.
Yeah. So things like It's a Small World was up to almost an hour wait. Just the carousel was like 40 minutes. So anything like that, we actually could get straight on with Genie Plus. So yeah, that's definitely a really big pro.
Yeah, another one of the pros was that because there was 3 of us, Noah was 2, so which meant he was actually free. So we only had to pay for me and Faye to use Genie Plus, which was $15 per person per day. And with that, we could obviously take Noah on with us. So, you know, things like the Barnstormer, for example, they could take Noah on, and then I could take him on. So he'd get sort of 2 goes on it,
Yes.
and we get to experience it with him as well.
We only did that when it was like 2-seater rides, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're going to be on your own anyway.
Yeah.
But when it was like sets of 3 or whatever, we obviously went on all together.
Yeah.
But we thought, why not give Noah 2 chances at going on the ride?
Because we started off, for some reason, I would sit in the back, you would sit with Noah,
Yeah.
or vice versa. And we're
Yeah.
like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like, you could be going on this twice.
Yeah,
Instead of one of us sitting on our own. So.
exactly. And it made the money and things seem a little bit more worth it.
Yes.
So it was kind of $10 each really, because it was $15 actually for me and Dan each. But yeah, we kind of saw it as that, and Noah's getting 2 goes.
Yeah.
So if you've got a little one which is free, then free is in.
That's free to ride.
Then that's a really good
Yeah.
kind of tip.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
We didn't need it for Animal Kingdom or Epcot, so it did keep costs down lower than obviously having to get it every single day. So yeah, Epcot, there was actually a good chance of getting walk-ons later on in the evening, so bear that in mind. Things like Spaceship Earth, Living the Land, Nemo, we all managed to get on like within 5 minutes of each other. So yeah, there are some walk-ons available in that kind of sense in places like Epcot, but with Magic Kingdom, there's just too many rides to actually be able to get the walk-ons. But it is good because then you don't have to pay for all 14 days of Genie Plus. It was only 4 days out of 14, which is still a lot, which is still frustrating that you have to pay for it, but it wasn't as much as it could have been if it was in every park.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, another sort of pro is we couldn't get on Slinky at all for the 2 days we were at Hollywood Studios, and then I just happened to be looking at the app for times to use up our lightning lanes for that day. And it was getting to like 4 o'clock, and a Slinky popped up
Yeah.
for like 4:30, and I just grabbed it so quickly.
Yeah.
Obviously someone had cancelled it or just relinquished their passes, and we managed to get on it. So that was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so good. And that's a pro really of the whole system, because we got on everything we wanted to get on. Not always using Genie Plus.
No.
The main rides like Rise Resistance, we use Parent Swap. So things like that, you don't need Genie Plus to get on all the attractions.
Yeah.
But for Magic Kingdom to get on all the little rides, it was worth it.
Really worth it. Ones that we wouldn't have previously queued for an hour to wait for, which is what they were showing times.
Yeah, I think that was another thing. Like, some of the ride lines were really overestimating what they actually were. They were saying they were like an hour, and some of them were actually only 20 minutes, which made me think, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose to be like, oh, it's really busy, get Genie Plus, because it just seemed bad.
Because everyone's checking the wait times on their phone now, so they can see how busy the park is.
Yeah.
Without actually, because we went past Peter Pan, it said like over an hour, and the queue wasn't even outside.
Yeah, so we knew it was only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we went in and was on Peter Pan in 20 minutes, whereas if we had done Genie Plus, we'd have to wait till like 3 p.m. So yeah, I think
there's all kinds of craziness going on.
Okay, so I think that's kind of the pros. I don't know if there's a lot of pros in there. My gut feeling is actually there's not a lot of pros, because the Fast Pass system was amazing. I don't know why I've changed it, but there are some pros there.
Yeah.
And then now we'll kind of go on to the negatives that we experienced.
Yeah, so let's start with probably the biggest negative, which is being on your phone all day. If you're, I'm a tech person, I like tech, but for Genie Plus to be efficient, you need to be on your phone all day pretty much, and you're looking down like that all day at your phone, trying to book rides, trying to order food, trying to buy merchandise. You're looking at your phone.
I think that's where, if you did it every day, I think it would really have impacted the holiday. I'm so glad we only did it 4 days out of the 14, because we obviously had those 4 days, and unfortunately it was down to Dan, because my app, for a long story, they didn't link and didn't work. So obviously it was kind of Dan having to do it all, which meant he was on his phone trying to find the rides and then book different ones afterwards. Whereas the Fast Pass, you book 3 at once, so you didn't then have to worry about it.
You get your 3 in the morning, and it'd take you up to midday.
Yeah.
And then you could just then book another one. So yeah, being on your phone all day is not fun in Disney, because you're trying to look at all the sights and sounds and stuff.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's part of the whole experience.
And we weren't even doing social media or anything like that. So if you're doing that as well, I swear your battery must just go.
Yeah. No wonder they give out free fuel pods for your
phone. That's true.
Yeah, another probably big one is the Wi-Fi, because you're relying on the internet to use Genie Plus. You need to be on the Wi-Fi. But as probably a lot of you already know, the Disney Parks Wi-Fi is dreadful.
So bad.
And if you can't use the Wi-Fi, you need to use roaming. So people from the UK will need to use a roaming package on their phone, which then again costs more money. Because the Wi-Fi in general at Disney Parks is terrible, considering the amount of money Disney make as the size of company they are. It's just
and that they're
crazy.
Forcing you to use your phone. They're forcing you to do it, because they're saying mobile ordering, do this, do that. And it's, if you're telling people you've got to do that, then provide the tools, which is Wi-Fi.
Yeah, provide decent Wi-Fi. It's just mad. Obviously there's thousands of people using it, which I completely understand, but it needs to be infinitely better than what it is currently to make the guest experience as magical as possible.
Yeah, exactly that. So there was also a few times where this happened to us as well, where the Wi-Fi dropped out, and then you were just about to book one.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi dropped out, you go back on it, literally 2 seconds later to book it, and it's 2 hours later.
Time's gone up 2-3 hours. Yeah.
And you're just like, that was literally in the space of a few seconds.
Yeah.
So that was really frustrating, because you're like, oh no, we'll love that one, and then
you can't just walk from one place to the other.
No.
Trying to book something, because the Wi-Fi will drop out at some point, and then you'll lose your time. Yeah, literally have to stand still. And that's another thing as well, when you're booking your time, there was a few times where I'd see, like, for instance, a 9:30 Peter Pan. I'd select it, and the next screen would say 2:30 to 3:30. And then there was so many times I'd selected it and just confirmed it and didn't see that it had changed. And then I had to go back in and cancel it and re-find another one. So just be aware of that as well.
Definitely make sure you're checking on the next kind of
On
page.
the next screen, yeah.
Waiting for everything. I don't know if this was just because the crowds were big or if Genie Plus is making an impact with this, but standby queues are crazy long, mainly because if you have got a lightning lane, you do get on a ride straight away, so that is obviously a pro. But if you're in standby line, which we often were, they let every single lightning lane person, as far as they can see, basically in.
Yeah, if there's a big chunk of lightning lane
They'll just
time,
go. They don't stop
one.
them, which is obviously making the standby lines double as long, because you're waiting for them to let them all through before you even get a chance to go. So you're always kind of looking like if there's a break in the line, you know that you're going to get a few standbys through. So yeah, and it's things like just waiting for a drink or restrooms or anything. It was just mental. Like
You don't have to book to get to the restaurant.
no, you don't have to book, but you just have to wait. Like we're used to going in like August,
Peak
summer
summer.
holidays.
Yeah,
like
peak summer.
that's where we go. So obviously, I think it is everyone's trips obviously being rebooked, but maybe it is Genie Plus as well. I don't know.
I think it does have an impact as well. Yeah, there was just lines for everything, absolutely everything. Yes, there's another part to Genie Plus, which is obviously the mobile food ordering and the merchandise. So to shop for merchandise and things like that. We did have positives and negatives experiences with this.
Do you want to do the shopping and I'll do the food?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, negative, we were in Creations, just trying to buy something. There was no one in the queue. So as we were walking through the queue, a cast member asked us if we'd like to try the mobile shopping. And being the person that I am, I jumped at the chance. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So we tried it 3 or 4 times. Wi-Fi just wouldn't work. She took my phone off me. She was trying to work it, wouldn't work. And then by the time all of this had happened, she told us to just go back in the queue and pay normally. And the queue was now massive. I was hoping she'd take us to the front of the queue.
Yeah, that
to
would have
say,
been magical.
but she didn't. So we had to then wait in a massive queue to pay. So. But then on the flip side of that, we were in the Emporium just purchasing, I think it was like one thing, and I did mobile ordering in there and it was literally done within about 30 seconds.
And there was a really big queue,
There
so
was a
that
massive
did
queue,
save us time. And then with the mobile ordering food, actually we've only got 2 negative experiences of this, so we'll share them as it's the negative section. But where was I? I was in Pandora. I don't know what that restaurant's called. I'm not so familiar with those restaurants, but it's a really good restaurant in the Pandora area. And Dan had gone. Dan had gone. Long story, but he had to go to Walmart to get us gloves and hats.
Because it was freezing.
A very long story. And myself and Noah was trying to keep warm, so I was like, let's go into the restaurant and have some food. So I walked up and a cast member was like, it's mobile order. And I said, oh, my app and things aren't working, so I'll just line up. She goes, well, you've got a 45-minute wait, whereas if you do mobile order, it's a 5-minute wait. I said, honestly, my app.
You didn't have the ability to mobile order.
I literally was like, I can't. And she was like, do you want me to have a look? And I was like, well, you can, but literally the app isn't there. I don't know how many times to kind of say it. I said, I will just stand in standby queue, because in my head I was just thinking it's warm, so I don't really mind standing. And she was like, it's going to be 45 minutes. Are you sure? It's going to be 45 minutes. I was like, I'm sure, it's fine. So she let me in reluctantly. So I was in the warm with Noah. I was like ready, well prepared, thinking great, 45 minutes. I go in, no line, literally.
There's no one there.
No line. So I go up, order my food, and collect it. Like literally within 5 minutes. And I was, why aren't they letting people do this? And I was hearing things that people were saying, and they're so like desperate for people just to do mobile ordering. They want to get rid of like walk-ups completely. So they're just trying to force you into it as if like this is the only way to do it.
And that would explain sort of my bad experience as well.
Yeah.
So I'd gone to Regal Eagle,
While
literally
I was having a chocolate float, can I just say, from
fly.
Festivia.
Float or fly? Chocolate fly.
Best of the
fly,
arts.
yeah.
But yeah, you had a victim.
All I wanted was a small carton of milk for Noah. That was it.
For yourself.
Yeah, for me.
No.
So I walked up, literally just wanted a carton of milk. The guy wouldn't let me in. He was like, "Oh, I can't let you in right now." I was like, "Okay, that's fair enough. I'll wait." Mobile order people came up. "Have you got a mobile order?" Yeah, they went straight in. It's like, okay, that's a bit weird. So I waited a bit longer. More mobile ordering people came up. "Have you got a mobile order?" Yeah, went straight in. So at this point, I was getting a little bit frustrated. So I tried to then mobile order this carton of milk, and it wouldn't work. It was just coming up with unable to process your transaction. So I showed the screen to the guy. He was like, "Oh yeah, we are having problems mobile ordering right now." I'm like, "Well, then how am I supposed to do it?" Like, you have to wait. And then the guy then eventually came out and got me and said, "Right, you can come in." Bear in mind, it was just me on my own. No one in there. There's no one in there. I don't know if you've been into Rig Legal, but they had like 4 or 5 mobile ordering stations and 1 like normal cashier, and there was no one in any of the queues. No one waiting for anything. So even that I was bemused at. I was like, "Well, what have I been waiting outside for?" And then I was straight in, bought the thing, got the carton and out. And it was like they were trying to deter you from just paying with cash.
Yeah. It's like, can we just go and order and just get it like normal?
Well, this is the thing as well. If I had cash, only, like we always used to do,
yeah,
I don't know how else you would do it.
No. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just seemed like they were always trying to deter you from doing things the old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned.
Yeah, the old-fashioned, like 3
back
years
in our
ago.
day.
But yeah, that was like really, really frustrating. I came out of that whole experience like really annoyed.
Yeah, it's just because I thought he was sat down in there.
Yeah, he texted me and said, "You sat down." I was like, "No, I'm still waiting to go in."
Did we say we'd be in there? And then I was getting all confused.
Well, you were drinking your chocolate.
While I was drinking my lovely chocolate. So yes, I think overall, obviously, we personally don't think it's a good thing to replace FastPass.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get what they're trying to do.
I get what they're trying to do. Yeah.
I get that they're trying to make the whole thing more like up to date, more like modern.
Yeah.
Because the modern teenager or the modern young adult is on their phone a lot.
Yeah. But the thing is, with FastPasses was on your phone.
Yeah.
So that was still like using your phone.
Yeah.
And we love Disney, like we are fans of Disney, but that doesn't mean we can't have an opinion where they're not doing it right sometimes. Yeah. And that Genie Plus for us, there was a few things during our trip, but I would say Genie Plus was the main thing, which we thought, this isn't better.
It's not better than the FastPass system. If they just kept FastPass and then add a Genie Plus for your mobile ordering or your shopping.
Or even like the bigger rides, if you want to pay to get on them even faster than a FastPass, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
plus.
I'm just confused, like why you have to pay for something that was free before, and it seems to be making wait times and everything way longer. So yeah, that's kind of our thoughts on Genie Plus. Like I say, that's just our thoughts. We've just experienced it. We've literally just come back from 2 weeks, and we only used it 4 times, but we still felt like we kind of have an opinion on it, and we have a few tips in there as well, which hopefully may help you, because we didn't read about it, hear about it, we didn't do anything about it before we went, because you know what it's like, you're not sure if you're actually going because you got to have your testing and stuff. So we weren't really prepared. So hopefully that was useful.
Hopefully it helps. If you don't already, go and follow us on Instagram. Faye's constantly updating our stories on there.
Constantly.
Well, not constantly. I'll put pressure on you. Yeah, go and follow us on Instagram. I'll leave the link somewhere down below.
We've also got a print shop, Happy Place Print. Got some of our prints there. So yes, we'll leave a link as well to our small shop. And yeah, we'll probably be back with a toddler video. Yeah,
a lot of people have asked us for tips on travelling with a toddler, so we've kind of made some notes.
Yeah, again, not experts in it, but we're happy to kind of just talk through our experience.
Yeah, hope that was useful, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.